Hello and welcome to your daily reading for Sunday the 30th of December 2018. My name is Alexandra. I'm happy to be here with you today. I hope you are well. What do we have? We have waning crescent moon, which is partly in Libra in some parts of the world for the whole day. So we have this beautiful air bell. The most nostalgic one. Then we move to Scorpio, which is water element. It's also quite minor in tone. Very soothing. Okay. And today I'm using the deck I started daily readings with. It's the Zillich Tarot that I love very much. I still admire this. I love the quality of the cards. I love how small they are. They shuffle beautifully. If there is full light, when I riffle shuffle, I can see the backs. They are very beautiful. They are flippering like butterfly wings. I love the overall feeling of this. But let's tune in to the energy of the day, Sunday, the 30th of December 2018, one of the last days of the year. Yeah. That's the first one, Ten of Swords, ruin. It wanted to show up, apparently. Which is the next one? I'm doing it quite differently today, as you can see. I'm not picking them up. I let them appear. Yeah, and here goes the third one. So we have it all. We have Ten of Swords, Two of Swords, and Nine of Discs. Very versatile energy. A very optimistic progression, I would say. Because we start with the most terrible card in the whole deck. Ten of Swords. Absolutely devastating energy of ending something. Swords always talk about thoughts, the patterns in thinking, the way your brain creates the world around you, because that's what is really happening. The brain, the mind, the way you were taught to think, co-creates the world. It takes pieces of what we call reality, which probably isn't what we think it is, and interpret it in a very specific way. And really take two people and show them the same thing and they won't see the same thing. Absolutely. So Ten of Swords is kind of thinking that leads you to ruin, that causes you to regret that you're alive, that you have been born. You wish it never happened because the situation you're in brought you to absolute devastation and desolation and a ruin. You can see the terrifying picture here. A spider-like girl looking straight at you with white shoulders and shattered world behind her and some gloomy, mysterious smoke-like cloud above her head, which is also partly red, so it indicates fire and destruction. And this is the way some of us think in at least one moment in life. It is self-destructive thinking, which I think is the part of human experience. I think most of us experience it in our lives. And touching the ground, well, it's not the ground. Touching the bottom really establishes the scale in life. And perhaps that's why it's so important. And perhaps that's why people who have touched the bottom usually have quite a unique and broad perspective on life. And they can really appreciate what comes after. That's what downs and downfalls and miseries and ruins are for. They establish the right perspective. And I think this is the thing of the past for you. This is something you have touched, or it touched you. You are experienced by this. When we are talking about life, you know what we are talking about. You know the dark side. You have encountered this. But you're over it. It's done. You've been there, done that. Now, what comes is peace. I love this card in this deck. It's the most meditative and nirvana-like card, I think. Even more than Four of Swords. In this deck, it's Two of Swords. Sitting in a lotus pose, holding mystical flower, the flower of spirituality. And the aura of spirituality is all around this person, who is really sitting in peace, appreciating the purity and pure blissfulness of life, as it is in its simplest form of the flower, of the light, of the bright color, of living things, of light in the sky, and of being alive in that very moment. It's like putting your sword down, hanging it on the wall. And all discrepancies and all dualities are also hanging here on the wall. They are not crossed. They are perpendicular. There's no conflict here. It's just you. In between. The moment and the moment. And this in between may become eternity. The bubble of eternity in between moments. Great relief after a hardship of some kind. And then, in this peace, this blissfulness, something very bright appears. And it's Nine of Discs, one of my favorite cards, which is called Gain in this deck. But generally, it's about knowing your worth and drawing satisfaction out of this. Look at her. You can almost see a smile on her face and the feeling of awe when she looks at the freedom of birds, flying feathers. It's so far from Ten of Swords, it's so far from ruin Something has been rebuilt. A garden has been established by her, where she's safe, supple, and supported. Where she's well fed. Nothing is missing from here. It's a state of perfect moment when you can be proud of yourself, proud of what you've achieved, and proud of the way you've been through, the route from 10 of Swords, the ruin, to 9 of Discs, where you are complete in yourself, self-disposable, self-efficient, self-satisfying. I love the progression here. So reflect on the past, especially on difficult things. Look at what it taught you, because it did, definitely. And look how far you have come. Look how far you have journeyed. From this, through peace of mind, peace of soul, being suspended into revolving, beautiful energy of 9 of Discs, which is not floating somewhere in the air. It's very close to reality. Without judging, without labeling, just being in the moment. On this material world we live in. Seems like a beautiful day. And a reflective one, if you like it. So take what's best from it. Take what resonates. Leave the rest. Make it a worthwhile day. I wish you many wonderful moments. And I see you in the next reading. Bye bye.